coming up here to the right, this road will take one to Villanueva de las Torres, or Meco, depending which direction. The left route would take one back into Meco. Going in this direction takes one into Castilla-La Mancha, the land of La Mancha. I'm going nice and slow right here, just so you can get a feel for what I'm on. This is a soft, not very smooth, but not terrible, farm road. The only thing I don't like about it are these rain ditches. And I can understand it because it's used for drainage, and you need those rain ditches when the heavy rains, water flows, and it all makes sense, but it doesn't help a bicycle at all. Directly ahead will be a right-hand turn, and that'll take me onto Camino de Meco. As far as I know, it's one of the very few farm roads that are labeled, and it's labeled for bicycling, hiking, and equestrian use. So you can see horsey backs on it, and occasionally you'll see sheep. The shepherds often get contracted to bring their sheep out, and they act as lawnmowers. They can clean up a field real quickly. So they're great for that, and feeds the sheep, gives the shepherd a little money, and gets rid of brush. It's all a win-win. Anyway, I'm gonna shut this down for just a minute and pick it up, because it gets a little rough here and I've got a long ways to go. Okay, this is officially Camino de Meco. I mentioned in other videos, I like this path. It's not, you know, pristine plush, but it is consistent. There are spots in it where the gravel gets soft and deep, and other spots where, well, it gets sandy. And then there's these little tidbits that are just kind of like powdery clay. The other day, when I was doing this ride, I kicked up a large rock, and I thought it just hit the pedal and the bottom of my foot. Didn't do any damage to me, but the crank got a little bent. Now this is a particularly cheap metal crank, and I was able to straighten it out pretty well, but I bought a new one. I think I paid 29 euros for a new crank set. Left and right arms, 170 millimeter arms, 4630 teeth. So it's cheaper than a new chain. Nevertheless, I did straighten this one out. It seems to be working well, but I don't trust it, so I'll put the new one, and before I install the new one, I'll make sure this one's in really good condition, you know, straight as can be, as a backup. To be honest, the last thing I would have thought were to happen would be getting a bent crank or a bent chain ring. But as you can see, these rocks are enormous. And when you're going at speed, which I was at the time, they can go flying. I have transparent skins on the down tube and places where there's friction, like between the cables and the frame, to protect the paint. But a large rock will dent the aluminum tubing, to be sure. Anyway, I checked the tubes and I couldn't find any damage, any dings. So I'm not sure what the heck happened. The only thing that I can think of is that big rock smacked into the crank, caused it to become bent. But I didn't notice it on the way home. I didn't know it was bent until I was cleaning the bike. Now, I talk about cleaning your bicycle after and between rides, and it's particularly important. Not even if you don't make it look beautiful, you don't need to really use any particular waxes or soaps or anything. I just use kind of a furniture polish that's designed to be an anti-static. It's best for like stereo equipment and electronics, and it's an anti-static finish. It helps, I think, to keep the dust off. I don't know. Nothing can really stop this dust. Anyway, the roadway isn't that far ahead, but I think a kilometer, and then I want to cross it and continue into Castillo. So this is the sign for Camino de Mecca, as you can see. I've been to that town directly below on a couple of occasions, but today. The destination lies directly straight ahead. In fact, in two ways. That's where we're going on the gravel road, and the town is headed in that general direction. Okay. The destination is Quer, Q-U-E-R, and this place is unremarkable. It's just a little sleepy village type town. However, it's a great destination because one can get there several different ways, and I'm learning this third way. Now, I did this ride a few days ago actually, and I didn't exactly know where I was going, and I wasn't exactly sure the best way, so I was using the Garmin, which is very good. It will tell you where roads are and that kind of thing. But I took a road that the Garmin suggested, but it took me to an industrial area, which then deposited me on a highway just outside of town. That worked out fine, but I want to try taking a roadway, if you can call it a road, prior to that, and that should be coming up very soon. Now, if I went straight ahead, it would take me to Villanueva de la Torre, which is also a nice sleepy bedroom community. This is the way I went last time, but I kept going to that new construction almost, discovered a farm field, and that was not going to work. Then I doubled back and got into a dirt road, and that's how I wound up in the industrial zone. Well, there's other pathway coming up to the right here, and I'm going to keep my eyeballs on the Garmin, which is a little hard to do because I don't have my regular spectacles on. So I'm going to stop real quick. I think this might be it. I'm going to try it. I need to check the Garmin one more time real quick. Rather inconclusive.